We're talking today about opportunities in the market today that you cannot pass up. You need not pass up because you really have to pay attention because they're going to go by and you're going to go, holy cow, I just missed the best opportunity to take advantage of the lowest rate since the 1800s. We're talking the lowest interest rate since the 1800s. Yes, before I was even born. And Steve.
Boy, I tell you, now we're digging deep.
So,
but back in the 1800s, you couldn't buy a brand new house in Westridge for 3.5%.
There was no Westridge.
Well, there was, but it wasn't called Westridge.
So there's great opportunities out there, and Cherrie Brown's sharing.
Say that fast 3 times.
Say that 3 times.
We were going over some of the stats that are happening because it's imperative that the numbers that we give you, because it's backing up the statements we've been saying for 6 months now, that it is no longer, it is still a buyer's market, which is a beautiful thing, but it's also a seller's market. Everybody thinks I can't sell. How long did it take you to sell your last home, Cherrie?
The last listing we put in the MLS at 10 a.m. on Friday, allowed our first showings at 10 a.m. on Friday. We had some buyers already lined up to see it. We got our first offer at 11 a.m., our second offer at 11:10 a.m., and we ended up with 5 offers before noon.
Wow. Okay, that's an hour.
Over list price.
Over list price.
Over list price.
So if you've been waiting for that time to sell your home, now it's a pretty good time?
It's a great time. And 50% of our offers were all cash. Some of them were 20% down, and we're talking a beautiful home in Valencia, sold very quickly, and we had to choose, which one we were going to go with because it sold so quickly.
So if it isn't cash, then as long as Cherry Creek Mortgage on the other side, you probably accept it.
Exactly. That's all it took. I just needed to see Cherry Creek, and it was done.
There we go. Another check in the mail.
No, that's really a good point, though. It's when you're looking at an offer to see what's good about an offer, and you've got 5 or 6 or 7 to choose from, there's so many things to look at, and one of them is, who are the people on the other side of the transaction? Is this someone I can work with over the next 30 to 45 days? Is this someone whose word is worth something? Is this person's promise going to go through?
Right. We like to work with everybody that we know and trust is ethical and honest and is not going to give the transaction a hard time and make the process simple for the buyer and seller so it's less emotional if it's emotional for the seller or the buyer.
All right, Steve, I have to hit you up on this because it's perfect for you because you're the middleman. You are Switzerland in every transaction. Escrow company is basically the person that gathers the information from all parties. The listing side, the selling side, the lending side, everybody, title. You are the keeper of the info.
Or the Matterhorn.
You're yes. But due to that fact, you can see how imperative it is to have quality professionals that know what they're doing.
Well, yeah, that statement has never been more important than now, because time is money in this market. If you're a buyer looking for a piece of property, you better have your ducks in a row because you won't have the opportunity. That property comes on the market and within minutes. Cherrie's got other offers on it, so you better be ready to go. My best advice to anybody thinking about buying a piece of property right now, and I'll talk about seller in a second, but is to be aligned with the best professionals possible. When I mean professionals, I mean people that are caring first, and that understand the market second, and can navigate through the difficult parts of what we deal with in this economic world. When it comes to the real estate agent, that's paramount that you have somebody like Cherrie to guide you through that process. And I've watched you in your career, Cherrie. I'm so proud of you for what you've achieved. You really, you're at the very top of the field, man. Really,
Thank you.
And what you're doing. Your marketing is awesome. Your compassion's awesome. You're aggressive when you need to be. You have the great negotiating skills. That's what you need as a buyer to be successful in buying a piece of property today. Because if you don't have it together, you're going to miss out on every opportunity.
Right.
Yeah. I always love hearing pearls of wisdom from Steve Corn.
And if you're a seller, there's so many opportunities. And I mean, I know if you're in a situation where you have no equity and you're upside down your property, well, the message is if you can't make your mortgage payments, let's get you out from underneath that burden, and get a hold of Cherrie and let her and her team guide you down the road to your financial future. Because the sooner you take action, the sooner you'll be able to get back into the market with low interest rates.
Absolutely. We're seeing homeowners that short sold the home in 2007, 2008. They're not purchasing homes at these low rates. They were able to short sell their home early on in the market, and now they're buying homes again with 3.5% down, and they're getting the low interest rates, and they're getting the low home prices. And one of the stats we didn't talk about is that I've been watching the sold homes over the last 60 days. And in the last 60 days alone, we're really seeing a lot more homes sell for over list price, more incentives for the seller. So it goes back to the sellers having a great advantage. And just recently, when I checked on the sold, 75% of the homes that were sold on that day sold for at or over list price with no incentives. So that's great for a seller. It's still great for a buyer because you're still getting these awesome low rates, these low home prices that you probably are never going to see again in your lifetime. And then the seller is getting just what they seek out to find, is fair market value for their home and a little bit over.
That sounds like the bottom of the market to me.
Yeah,
what do you think, Gino?
Absolutely, Donna. One of the things that's important is with the reduced inventory, you have slightly reduced choices. So the prices are still amazing, right? So you're saying it is still a buyer's market as far as prices go.
Right.
But as far as choices go, you have to be a little bit more flexible. I think you can't look out for that every single piece you want as a buyer, because it's going to be very difficult with 3, maybe 4 houses that fit your criteria.
Right. We can pull some of the criteria for an average buyer. They say, okay, I want 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. It has to have a pool, must have a view. I want to be in this area, Copper Hill North, and I want to live east of Tamarack and north of Copper Hill, and that may pull up one home. And a one home 30 days after that, and a one home 30 days after that, versus kind of giving yourself a broader search, looking in all of Saugus or all of Valencia.
So you can tell that Cherrie Brown with Keller Williams VIP Realty knows her stuff. I mean, if you listen, she knows her stats. She listens. That is a key factor. I know Steve and Gino will back me up on this. Is a key factor is being able to listen to what is needed, because nowadays it is very competitive out there these days. And I mean, you mentioned that there's 5 offers on a home within an hour. So therefore, you better be able to listen. You better be able to help them find what they really want. And I love that you do that. I know you're passionate and love helping your clients, obviously, don't you?
I definitely do. And, you know, a lot of things what my clients love is I say, if it takes you 6 months to find a home, find the living arrangements for 6 months. Live in a short-term lease. It's okay. You don't have to buy a house today. Get short-term plans to house your dogs, your animals, your storage. Do what you got to do to find the perfect house. It doesn't mean you have to rush in because there's 3 houses. You have to buy one of the 3. Just means give yourself more time, come up with a better plan, and talk to your real estate professionals you're working with to make sure that you have a plan that's in place that gives you time.
Oh, that's Cherrie Brown with Keller Williams saying you need to have a plan.
That's right.
Okay, so don't turn this dial, because we're going to talk when we come back about how Cherrie ended up in deep trouble when we come back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS.